Okay, I'm going to share with you how to focus your binoculars and how to adjust them to your eyesight and how to use them. On the previous video, I covered some tests that you can give binoculars before you purchase them while you're in the store. So now that you're home with them, we want to uncover your eyepieces and we're going to cover over the right objective and we're going to open up the left objective. I have set an object out at about 30 feet from me and it's about 12 inches tall, and I'm going to use that to focus in on. I'm only going to use my center of focus ring in order to do that. So I put it up to my eyes and I go ahead and I make my adjustment and I get it in the best focus that I can. Now in the same location, I'm just going to cover over that objective and I'm going to open up the right objective. I'm going to look at the same object. But this time when I focus, I'm not going to be using the central focus ring. I'm going to be using the fine tuning. A lot of binoculars have that on the right eyepiece, some on the left. Mine has a special lift cap to secure my locations there. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to look at the same object. I'm going to fine tune it right there. And then I'm going to lock it in position. Now if you don't have a lock, then you want to take a look at the chart on the side there and make a notation of where that's set up. And that's the way you'll use your binoculars to get the clear, crisp pictures that your binoculars can deliver for you. That's one of the reasons why I don't like to share my binoculars with other people, because if your eyes, which usually they are different than mine, you're going to want to make those changes. Okay, now the next thing that you want to do before you go out into the field is you want to get comfortable with how to use the binoculars. So you want to practice with them. So go out and sit in the backyard, enjoy some fresh air, and find just a small item. It could be just a structure in your yard to take a look at, the corner of the house, anything. And you just want to pull your binoculars up and get it in focus as quickly as you can. Then you want to choose another object, something that's stationary, pull your binoculars up, get it in focus. You want to be able to do that in a very short period of time. Remember, birds move and they hop, so you want to go ahead and take care of that before you get out in the field. Now, once you have that accomplished and you know which way to turn to get it in focus, when it's closer to you and when it's further away, the next thing that you want to do is develop the skill of locating your bird or your object that you want to look at, and don't lose focus of it. You don't need to look at your binoculars to pick your binoculars up and get them to your eyes. Okay, so keep your focus on your bird, bring your binoculars up, and just practice that. And when you do that, you're going to find you're going to save so much time, and for those warblers and those small birds, you're going to be able to have your binoculars in focus and ready to go long enough where you can identify them. And that's the other thing that we come to with birding. Now that you start to see things that you hadn't seen before, you're going to start to wonder what they are. So I picked up a wonderful field guide right here to the birds. And there's a lot of birds in here in the States. There's about 900 in here that I could virtually see. But being new to birding, I want to simplify it as much as possible. So start out in the beginning and learn your bird shapes. If you don't know the shape of a bird, it's hard to identify it, and it's hard to ask somebody who does know it. So I think this is a shape right here that everybody would know just right offhand what it is. This one, a lot of people would probably know as well. When birds are in the air, they can tend to look differently. So we can take a look at this and look at this wing shape that this one offers and that this one offers. And then we can take a look down here at this one and see something very different going on. So those are the kinds of observations that you want to get in the practice of so that you know what you're looking at. You want to take a possession of your book and go ahead and mark it up. The first section of your book are going to be your land large water birds. I've got an index tab on here to make it easy for me in the field to find it. The next group of birds that I have indexed here are the large land birds. So this takes up about a quarter of the book, and then the next one is going to take up a quarter of the book, and then I'm going to come into my small land birds, and that's going to be the other half of the book. I have an index tab here. There's two birds families that give me some challenges, and I have those marked here. And the first one is the finches. So I can go right to the tab and I can start looking at finches and the sparrows. So I go ahead and do that, and that's going to save me time when I'm out there. You're going to want to learn the bird topography, and we'll talk about that in a later video. But right now, get comfortable with those binoculars and treat yourself well. Go outside, get some fresh air, reduce that stress, observe the birds. Okay, thank you. Happy birding.